Okay, pause the video. See if you can give this a go yourself first. I'm going to do this challenge by challenge anyway. Okay, so I'm going to do the first challenge, which is creating a text file, username and password. So I'm going to create my text file. I'm going to call it users.txt. And in it, I'm going to have a username, let's say 11. And my password is going to be 1234. Let's do ting. Password is 5678 Let's do Arctic. And let's do password is 1. Let's do Scott. And let's do the password as bugging me. Okay, so set this up where you've got username, password separated by an @ symbol in a text file. Now what I want to do is create a function that will be responsible for not just opening the text file, but going through each line and extracting both the username and the password in different arrays. So I'm going to make a function. I'm going to call it open file. I'm not passing anything into it. I don't need to, because I'm going to do all the opening and stuff like that inside the function. So there's no parameters being passed in. F equals open users.txt, and we're going to do it to read. I'm going to create 2 arrays. These arrays are going to be called usernames and passwords. So that's going to store all the usernames, and the passwords is going to store the passwords. What I want to do now is make a variable called lines, f.readLines. If I was to print lines, what you'll see is the following. You'll see everything stored as an array. So the next step is we want to go through this array one at a time. So you should know how to do that. There are different ways we can do this. I'm going to do it for I in range length of lines print I. So if I run this now, oops, I'm an idiot. Lines I. If I print this now, we've now got 11 at 1, 2, 3, 4, Ting at 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, Arctic at 1, Scott at bugging me. The next thing we need to do though is I want to get rid of these extra lines in between. You can see that they're there. That is because of this /n, which means put an extra line in. We need the /n in here to put them on different lines. But in Python, it just adds an additional line. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a variable called strip. And I'm going to make that equal lines I dot strip. I'm going to then print this new variable called strip. So if I run it now, what's happened is it goes to the first line and it strips. It takes off the /n, gets rid of it. I put it into this variable called strip. I could call it no /n, for example. No /n. No /n, whatever you want to call it. But the function strip, which is inbuilt, library routine, gets rid of the /n. But I'm not done, because now what I want to do is simply put 11 in one array and put 1, 2, 3, 4 in the other. So what I'm going to do to get, because I want to get the 11 and the 1, 2, 3 and get rid of the @ symbol. So in my code, I'm going to get rid of the print no /n. I'm going to make a variable called split. I'm going to make it equal no /n. Why am I calling it splash? No /n. Dot split. I want to split it when it sees the @ symbol. So look what split becomes. Split becomes an array. Ignore these. So the first time, because we're doing it in a loop, would be 11, 1, 2, 3, 4. So all I want to do now is put 11 into one array and passwords into the other. So watch. Usernames dot append split 0, because we're going to get the first item and put it into usernames. Passwords dot append split 1. So now, if I was to display usernames, print passwords, and we run it, there you go. Username 1, username 2, username 3, username 4, password 1, password 2, password 3, password 4. But we want to have it as a function. Now I'm going to return both the usernames and the passwords back to the main code. Like that. Now you could argue, and I'm not going to get into this argument, that usernames and passwords are global because they're arrays, but CIE want you to be using username and password to return. That's how we're going to rock and roll. Okay, so now in the main code, if I was to simply do print usernames and print passwords, this is what we'll get. Still works, happy days. But let's look at the challenge. The challenge says create a procedure to output all usernames, create a procedure to output all passwords. Easy. Def display users. And I pass in usernames. I'm then going to do print, here are the usernames for I in range, length of usernames, print usernames. As is a procedure, I don't need to return anything. So if I call this now, display users, and pass in usernames, there we go. There are usernames. Let's now do the same for password. Display password, we're going to pass in passwords, print, here are the passwords for I in range, length of passwords, print passwords I. Let's call it display password and pass in password. There we go. Usernames, passwords. So recap. Open up the file, get all the lines, and this puts it into an array. We then need to loop through the array. We strip the slash ends. We split the each line so that we get rid of the @ symbol. When we do split, it puts it into a new array, which will just simply be the username followed by the password. We then grab the first item and put it into usernames. We then get the second item and put it into passwords.